Hey, have you ever felt yourself just pour into something? Like it just feels like it's so easy and natural, and you just dive right in and you can just keep going and going. I call that the switch. And today I want to talk about a simple thing that you can do to engage the switch with anything that you're doing and train your brain to do that to make progress in your life and work. All right, let's do it. Hey, what's up, guys? Good morning. Today is the 100th episode of this show. I am beyond stoked that has actually happened, that I'm actually sitting down to record this. And I think this one's going to be pretty special because it is the core of I'm starting to kind of outline my process and what I do in my coaching of creatives and that I've done as a creative entrepreneur. I'm not just outlining like tips and tricks on this channel. Like these next few videos specifically are going to be about the process that I walk someone through to activate and cultivate creativity in themselves so that they can show up in their work at a high level. One of the things that I see for myself and that I've noticed for others is that a lot of times we have this ability to show up every day for certain things and not show up every day for other things. And I've noticed this specifically with like jiu-jitsu. I've done it with mountain biking. I've done it with going to the gym. I've done it with this show right now that you're seeing right now, this stretch. And I realized that there's sort of a trick to it. I used to think that sometimes that switch just comes on and you can just go. But what if there was a way for you to actually activate it? Several years ago, I read a book by Chris Guillebeau called The Happiness of Pursuit. And in that book, he talks about all of these people who have taken on what he deems as quests. So a quest is something that is like, it's personal to you. It's something that you either share with others or you don't share with others, but you are doing it as something that you can personally accomplish, right? So the examples were like somebody who had done like a marathon in all 50 states, or like visited all the places that they wanted to visit for bird watching, like things like that, or his personal quest of going through and visiting every country in the world. These are quests, right? And when you think about that, that's like, okay, well, what does that have to do with my work and my life and my creativity, Chris? Well, I'm getting there here. So here's the deal. The people who committed to those things, they didn't say, oh, maybe I will do this, maybe I won't do this. They committed. They decided, just like I was talking about in the decision video the other day, they decided that this is something that I'm going to do. And it almost becomes a part of their identity. And so that's actually the secret. You will do things consistently if you believe that's who you are. And so the trick is to get yourself believing that you can actually do it, or you are a person worthy of doing these things. So that identity piece is actually really important. It's who we believe we are, and that's how we show up every day. And it's when we start to shift and kind of dismantle or rearrange that identity inside of us, our internal self-concept, that we allow ourselves to do the things that we say we want to do. Someone who doesn't train jiu-jitsu, they're not a jiu-jitsu practitioner. They haven't taken that on as an identity, so they're not going to do it. Someone who isn't a writer, they don't have a daily writing habit where they're writing 1,000 words, they're not going to write a book. It's not a part of who they are. They are not a writer. The same holds true for anything that you want to do. So the secret to the switch is just to simply take it on as an identity piece, to not make it be like something that you might do. It's something that you are going to do. I like this quote from the book. He says, the most important thing about art is to work. Nothing else matters except sitting down every day and trying. So, too, for a quest, the most important thing is continuing to make progress. And if you really dissect that and look at what he's saying there, he's talking about continuing to show up day to day. Every day you are showing up and you are doing this thing. The switch that we feel sometimes when we feel motivated and we feel like extra energized around something, it comes from the consistency of doing the thing every day. So I actually have 2 steps for you today. All right. Step number 1 is to identify things that you want to change in your life, or things that you want to engage in, or a quest that you want to go on your own, and list those things out. And then step 2 is to pick one, and then underneath that thing that you listed, let's say I want to write a book is one of those things. We're going to list the daily actions that you're going to do every single day to write that. And you're not going to want to do it at the beginning. It's not going to feel like you're a writer at the beginning. But if you show up and you sit down and you write 1,000 words a day, for example, or even if it's 500 words a day, that becomes a part of who you are now, because you can look in the proof and say, I did this. I am a writer. Or maybe you want to go on a quest to hike, 5 14ers this year, but you're like, I have no idea. So what do we need to do to make that happen? Let's just make the list, and what are the daily actions I need to do to line out this quest, right? I need to work myself up to this many steps a day, or I need to, I need to know more about the trails and what I need to do and what the best time to go is, and go ahead and get them on the calendar. These are the actions of the person who has flipped the switch, who has accepted this as part of their identity, and this is what I'm going to do. There's a divergence in path between someone who is sort of interested and kind of thinking about doing this stuff, and then someone who is committed to doing this stuff because this is who they are. Doing this side and taking that on as part of your identity is going to be the thing that helps you flip the switch. I was talking with a client this morning, and we were talking about the movie Les Mis from 1998 with Liam Neeson. And he was telling me, I've actually never seen it, but there's a scene in that movie where Liam Neeson is asleep on a bench. He doesn't have anywhere to go. And this lady comes out and she's like, hey, you can't stay here. And he's like, listen, lady, I have nowhere else to go. I've checked over here, over here, over here. I've checked everywhere. There's nowhere for me to be. I have to be here. And she says, well, did you check this house over here? And he said, no, I didn't check that house over there. And she says, well, go check that house over there, because I'm pretty sure they're going to let you in. And then he goes and checks the house over there, and they let him in, and the story progresses. But the point of that story is, sometimes it feels like we have done everything possible to have what we want, when the answer is just simply right in front of us, or just right across the way. It's not a matter of whether it's available to us or if it's possible for you to do the things or be the things you want to be. It's a matter of taking them on as your identity and opening up your mind to it. It's just like when you buy when you start being interested in like a Tesla or something. Like, let's say you were interested in Teslas and you wanted to buy one and you were looking into it, you would start seeing those cars everywhere, man. That's the reticular activating system at play. Our brain is really smart, and it doesn't take in things all at once. If it did, it would overwhelm us, right? But so we can only perceive in our conscious mind a very small amount of what's actually going in. And when you start to shift your focus, you start to see more of the things around you, and everything kind of lasers in. That's how all this stuff works. It's not, it's not magic. It was always there. It's just we weren't paying attention to it, right? So the idea of flipping this switch and becoming the identity of the person who has the things you want to have and does the things you want to do is just as simple as saying, I am a writer. I am a podcaster. So, okay, cool. If I am those things, what am I going to do every day? Cool. That makes sense, right? And so you can just start taking actions like that. Another great hack for it, though, is to go on short quests. So this one for me, I've been doing podcasting since like 2014, and I've gone on and off, but I've been wanting to do like a daily show for a while, and I just gave myself the challenge. I'm going to do 15 days in a row until I get to 100. Today's 100. It was actually 16 days in a row, but now I kind of just want to keep going because it's become part of who I am. It's part of what I do every day, and it's not hard. It's not difficult because I do it every single day, right? And so that is how the switch works. Seeing it as a quest and planning like these mini quests in your work and in your life, that could be a thing that pushes you over the edge. That's one of the reasons why I signed up for this jiu-jitsu competition in a few weeks. This is like, if this is something I'm doing, like I'm just going to take myself on a little quest here and see what happens, and play. It's going to be fun. So don't take all this so seriously. If you want to flip the switch with anything that you would like to have more of in your life, see if you can plan a mini quest around it and just see that through and commit to that. It doesn't have to be a lifelong thing, but like if I can commit to a quest of writing 100 words a day or 500 words a day for 30 days, that can be your quest. Or it could be, I want to go on more hikes, and you just go on a hike every day for 30 days. You don't have to tell anybody about it. You just do it internally and know that that is what you're doing. And at the end of that, you are the person who goes on more hikes. So you see how this works. So I want to encourage you today to look for opportunities for where you want to flip the switch, and then see if you can insert a mini quest in there to make it happen faster. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I am stoked out of my mind to have hit 100 episodes on this show. It's been a wild ride. Like right now, I may move these episodes to another feed. The episodes that came before all of this, where I was documenting my journey of building a marketing agency, but I may just leave them there because it's history. That was a quest for me as well. And so it's been really fun to go on this journey. I'll continue documenting my journey along the way on this channel and on this show, and I'm really grateful for you guys for being here. So thanks so much. Hey, if you're a creative or an owner and you want to be around other creatives and owners who are on their own quests to build something that only they can build and to contribute something only they can contribute, I would love to have you in my free group, Flow and Focus. If you just go to chriscreed.com/flow, you can join the group there for free. And if you go to my website, chriscreed.com, you can find other ways to work with me there as well. All right. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here. See if you can find a quest to go on, because it's fun and it'll help you flip that switch. All right. Love you guys. Bye.
Slow down, there's nothing to get you, can always tell.